Oh, what's going on here? Are we live?
We're live, you turkey.
Is it almost Thanksgiving, Jim?
It almost is.
It's almost Thanksgiving.
So
Hello, everyone.
against the bears and the turkeys on your head, the bear may not be far behind. So just be careful, Tim.
The turkeys are not boding well this week. They're on the run. I just saw some running down the road, down the forest, down the dirt road here. But hello, Jim. Hello, Doc, and welcome everyone to a very corny, and Doc is probably thinking, "What am I doing here?" edition of the Tim and Jim Show. I'm Tim Sohn here in the woods with, where did the turkey go? Sohn Social Media Solutions, and really excited to be here with you for a pre-Thanksgiving edition of the Tim and Jim Show. So, Jim, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, very excited to have Sean, aka Doc Rock Boyd, with us here today. Had a chance to talk with him the other day. He's a wealth of knowledge. If you're not following on YouTube, you definitely need to. And I know we're going to be talking today about how to set up a live stream studio, but maybe at some point too, Doc, you can tell us about this Vlogmas thing that you've been talking about, because that's something that you've really got my head spinning. I've only got a few days to plan for it, and Tim, you might have to do it too.
Ooh.
But Doc, tell us about yourself. And I'm a little jealous because I know you're living in a place I've spent a few years in when I was a younger man, the beautiful island of Oahu, I believe, in the state of Hawaii.
Well, first of all, I think between you and I, we absolutely outranked him. So all we got to do is just give him an order to make. He got to do Vlogmas.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we outrank you, soldier. So you're in. Yes, I live here in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm literally, let's say, about 1.25 miles away from Waikiki. And yeah, it's great. Like, I came out on vacation. I wanted to stay. Realized it was kind of expensive, so joined the army. And then said, with my ASVAB, but they said you can pick where you want to go. I said, I'm coming right back. And they was like, okay, you're good. It took a while to get them to bring me back here, but eventually I came back, and then I've been here ever since. Like, I absolutely love it. It's a great place to live. It's challenging sometimes to, like, when people are like, oh, it's cold out. I'm like, what? Oh yeah, you mean those guys are cold? Like, oh, it's snowing out. I was like, I kind of miss snow. No, I don't. I miss the look of it when you first wake up and you go, oh, look how white. You know what I don't miss is that brown crap that's on the side of the road once the road salt hits it, and then it's all in your shoes and the bottom of your car, that winter crust from the salt. Like, yeah, I don't miss any of that noise. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I think Tim gets more of that because in Atlanta, if we get it like they had, I think they called it Snowmageddon a few years ago, and it like cripples the city. Like they're done if there's like 2 inches on the ground.
Yeah, I was stationed in Stewart for a minute, so yeah, I do remember that. It's like, oh, what's this white stuff? It's like, it's snow, people, relax.
You guys didn't actually realize that this is actually a weather show. This is not a marketing or any other kind of show. We're just going to talk about the weather for half an hour here.
Yeah, that's important stuff, man.
I agree. It is very important. So thank you all who are tuning in. We're so grateful you're here. Today we're going to be talking to Doc Rock, who I met through the Ecamm community. And he actually helped me pick out, yes, I actually have an iMac now. Shh. He actually helped me pick out what to get for that, which he was super helpful with. So anyway, Jim, do you want to take question number 1 for Doc?
Yeah. So Doc, what are some of the essential elements when it comes to creating a live streaming studio? Because I think sometimes people make that their excuse for not starting. And I think you can break it down, as we used to say back in the day, Barney style, right?
Yes, Barney style. So here's the most important thing is you don't technically need a studio. It's good if you have one. Okay, let's just get that covered. It is absolutely better if you have one. But if you don't, there's a bunch of cool videos on how to create a single like studio on a stand. So to the side of me, which is right out of frame, I have what's known as a C stand, and it's basically a very rigid like a light stand. And normally the light stands that come with these kits and stuff you buy, they're the foldable black ones because they're intended to be like portable. This one's a little bit more fence pipe, like it's really kind of, and it's shiny, it's beautiful, it's solid. But there's a guy out who made a cool thing where it has the light, the little shelf for the Mac or PC, whichever. It has a place for the camera to clip to, the mic to clip to, and you just put it on wheels. So you can just roll it out of the corner, plop, sit down, go, right? So and you can build one of those for a little under $200, right? I think having a studio like we have now, like I know you finally set yourself up. I know Tim's had set himself up. Having a studio or a little nook in the house where you can just jump in and go, I think that's kind of important. If you can pull that off, if you can discuss with the family, you know, it'll be great. Now, right now is the best time to sneak one in the house because both partners, right? Or if you by yourself, who cares? Do what you want, right? But the rest of us have to get permission to do things to the house. And then so before I had all of this stuff set up in the house, and I used to get yelled at because I'm like, today is going to be one of those days, like, you know, today where I have like 4 things in a row. I've been at this since like 09, right? And then she's like, but those backgrounds and those lights and those cords and stuff, they're just all in the way. They're always in the way. And then she would get frustrated because there's a time where I have like 3 streams in a row. I'm like, I'm gonna leave it up this week because I really have to be going, right? I was streaming for AOL. And so when Apple event week, right, we would be, you know, every day talking about a various portion of what Apple released. So, you know, 3 or 4 streams in a row. And it was like, yo, I need this stuff to get out of my living room. So I ended up building a studio in a commercial spot. And it's just something great about being able to jump in, sit down, and go at it. So if you have that breakfast nook, and right now it's good because the kids need to use it for Zoom, right? The opposite half needs to use it for Zoom, and you need to use it for Zoom and live streaming marketing for your own business. So now is a perfect time to kind of sneak one in the house because everybody needs to use it.
Right.
That's definitely true. And thank you to Diana Gladney, who's in the house. Speaking of the house.
Yo, that is my partner in crime right there. I absolutely love Diana. She is so good at this.
She is. She's amazing. And we were fortunate to have her on the show as well. Gosh, it was probably a couple months now. Like time is a blur now more than ever, as Tim would say.
Now more than ever. Yes, thank you for getting that out of the way, the now more than ever reference. Appreciate that. So Doc, let's talk a little bit about lighting, right? What are some different options in terms of what kind of lighting? I have a ring light here, and I also recently got this, I don't know how to, do you know how to say the name of this brand?
Yes, it's Newer. It's actually
Newer.
It's written very much phonetically, but everyone on the entire planet says Newer.
Right.
I'm like, you just decided that extra E was, I don't know, decoration? Come on, people.
Right, exactly. What tips do you have when it comes to figuring out your lighting situation?
I was looking for my extra light because I literally just played with it today. But anyway, first of all, don't get mad. I'm not a fan of ring lights. I have 2 of them. I bought them and then I use them as the fill light now. So it's over there and it just provides a slight little pop to the side of the face. And the only reason why I don't particularly care for ring lights is what most people do with them is what they're designed specifically for is you plop your camera in the middle. And so you're looking dead at it. And that creates what's known as a flat lighting effect. Okay, I'm not a fan of the flat lighting effect because it makes you feel like you're just a moving picture, somewhat like a GIF. It doesn't have any depth. Like you can tell that I have 6.5, 7 feet behind me, right? Yeah. You can see the boys over there, mutants in the half shell. You can see Vader back there with the Christmas lay on. You know, you can see the wooden engraved sign and stuff. So I like to see that depth because it means that you're not like in a box somewhere. Right now, what you guys are doing is fine. You're in a green screen. You're never going to be able to tell. That's okay. If you're going to green screen it, whatever. Get whichever light.
I'm not actually on a green screen. I have a vinyl brick wall.
Oh, hey, vinyl is final. Like but see, and so that makes sense then because you do look like you have more depth. Where Tim like he's in the Shire, and I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for Bilbo to go or Smeagol to pop out and go running across.
Or perhaps Baby Yoda will pop out and say hello.
Okay, listen. Now we're in trouble. As a Star Wars fan in here, as you could tell by my office, he's the asset or he's the child. He's not Baby Yoda. We have
All
no
right, I'm
proof
sorry. It is the
that
child.
Yoda and Yaddle had a kid. Okay, none. So he's just the asset or the child. My little sister and I argue about this on a daily basis, and I'm like, "You're gonna out Star Wars nor me, girl? Sit down. I got this." Anyway, so one of my favorite little lights for those people who want to run mobile, because we will probably get to mobile in a second. This is known as an Aperture MC, and it's just a cool little portable guy. What's really gangster about this guy is you just magnate it to something, and
Wow.
it could be any one of 16 million colors. It can be white, of course. You can set it to a color temperature to get what you want. It is controlled by a phone app. If you get multiples, you can set them up in little groups and stuff. So this is one of my favorite little guys, and this works great as an on-camera light, whatever. If it's up to me, what you're going to do is you're going to put your light right in front of you and then 30 to 45 degrees off to the side, and you're going to shoot it across your face like the way that I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And then that way you have shadow and depth, so you don't look like a flat face, especially when your face doesn't like. So I mean, you want to highlight your structure, your bone structure, or whatever, right? And you watch this in photos all the time. Like the really good photos, it's called Rembrandt lighting because the guy who started painting faces really well, like you have a little triangle or a butterfly underneath the eye or underneath the nose. That's that angle. And then if it's too dark on one side of your face, you put another light there slightly on. In the back, I have a hair light, which I don't really have hair, but that little glint you see off the side of my hat and off my shoulders right here, that's that light right there. It's just peaking a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I like to let it peak on purpose, just because again it provides depth, but it separates you from the background. So online you can get a whole 3-light kit for under 150, 200. Neewer is a fantastic brand. I use a large softbox light, which is like literally right here. And what that is it's like a 1-inch LED. It looks bright. I mean, it's crazy bright. If you took the cover off, it will blind you. But by having this white, like shower curtain thing in the front of it, it diffuses it really soft. So it ends up repeating the sun. And that's what you kind of want. So if you have to completely low budget this, because hey, we understand, go get yourself a daylight balanced bulb as bright as you can get. We're talking like 200 watts LED, right? It's going to be soft, so it doesn't matter. Then go to Ross and pick up a $2 white shower curtain and rig it however you have to rig it and shine the light through that, and you'll create exactly what I have in this $1,500 light. It will do the exact same thing.
That's funny.
A shower
curtain. Because it's interesting, Doc,
curtain.
you bring up the ring light, because I have one and I've done the same thing. I've moved it off to the side because one of the things I didn't like is if I was wearing my glasses, which sometimes I have to do, it starts to, you can see it in the eyeglasses.
Yeah.
And so I've actually thought about getting the soft box, because
soft boxes are nice, but you got to be careful. And Diana and I crack up about this because it's called a parabolic light, but I kept calling them a parabellum for I don't know what reason. It just got stuck in my head wrong. Maybe it was from being stationed in Georgia in antebellum. I have no idea. Basically, there is such a thing as a flat softbox. They're a little bit more pricey because it takes a lot more to structure it that flat. But if you have the space for it, go for it. But normally the dome is like 36 inches around on the small size, and the depth of that thing is like another 18 inches. That's what helps create the soft, but they're massive. So if you have the space for that, go for it. But if you're doing this in your house, I guarantee the other half would be like, what in the explicative is that? Please get that out of my house. So you got to be able to at least get it struck and reset as fast as possible. And they do come with speed rings. So yeah, if you're in a dedicated studio, by all means, get yourself a softbox. Softbox changes the game. It's so beautiful. Look at Rob's video, Rob Balasabas, the venerable Rob Balasabas. Yes. He made a video today and he's showing you his little studio, and he has the real basic softboxes like the newer ones, and it looks great. He created the top down view and one from the side, and it's great. And again, the softbox is to basically fake the sun in your house. So if you're going to start anywhere, either get those or the Viltrox I was looking for to show you, because that's what's back there. It's just a flat panel, and they have little desk clamps you can click to and just put them right next to you. Also sold under the Elgato brand as the key lights, and those are great. The Elgato ones are great. They're just a little bit more pricey because there's Elgato, and you can re-get it as a Dazine for cheaper.
Well, and I like too, Doc, like where you were showing with the little small one that you had, that you can actually change the colors, right? Because that can change the tone and the mood. Rob does a great job with that, and sometimes maybe you don't want just white light. You want something a little different, and I think that's a nice feature to have. Yeah, 16 million colors, right? That's like you can pick any color you want.
Yeah, and so what I normally tend to do is, like, right now, its intensity was set at like 10. I'm gonna show you the intensity down at like 1. It's just a little teeny glow, and so you can use it as a pop of color. I use it as a practical light, just something to look at back there. You know what I mean? So normally when these are not in the way, I have it pointed. I have it pointed at those guys. I'll crank it up just a taste, and then just kind of sit it right there, just to cause a little glow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, why is it glowing? Why is it glowing on the little Siri ball? You know what I mean? And so just kind of hide it back there. Just like, my Vader Christmas lights. If you have the depth for it, put some lights and stuff in the back. It's called practical lights. You always see them in movies. There's always an unnecessary lamp on in the back of the scene because it just lets you know that they're not in the studio, which they still are, but they're trying to hide that fact.
Right. So Stefan says he just got a Loom Cube. Are you familiar with those?
Oh, I was just talking about that with Diana this morning. Yes,
wow.
I love my Loom Cube. I absolutely love and I have the OG original Loom Cube, but the new ones are even better. And Loom Cube has one of these now. It just came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know the guys because they came from Nick Software. I don't know if you guys remember Photoshop plugins, but yeah, the guys who make the Loom Cube come from that company, and then they made their own thing.
Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. All right, everyone. We're going to take a brief 15-second break for a video from our sponsor, StreamYard, which we use every week to produce this show. So we will see you back in 15 seconds as Jim drinks his coffee or whatever it is from his StreamYard.
It's coffee.
Shout out to coffee. All right, we're going now. See you on the other side. Except that's the wrong one. Do. Go, Jim. Go, Jim.
It's the Tim. It's the Tim.
Oh, that is awesome.
And we're back with Doc Rock, and he's probably still regretting being on the show, but we're excited to have him here to talk all about how to create your own live streaming studio. So, Jim, let's talk a little bit about this question. Can you take that question away, sir?
Yes. So, as I think we all don't always think about because we're on video, but audio, right? Probably to me, the most important thing, because people will forgive a little bit of bad video, but if your audio is bad, they're out of there. What are some options that you think people should consider, Doc, when it comes to audio?
Okay, first of all, if you ask me, as you can tell, I'm going to say get yourself a pod mic, but then that requires getting an interface. So if you don't have one of those, what you need to get yourself is one of these bad boys. This is known as the Samson Q2U. It is sticking right out of Jim's face right now. It's also sold under the ATR 2100. Exact same mic. ATRs are a little bit harder to find, so you might see that as used. But this is great because when you can find them, they're $50-$60 depending on the retailer you pick it up from. This was Best Buy, $50. And what I love about this mic is it's built off of what's known as an SM58. SM58, you guys have seen from Elvis all the way back to what's the dude with the balls on fire?
Jerry Lee Jones?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yes.
That's right.
See, you made me, you made me mess that up. I mean, these have been around from Sam Cooke, like they've been around forever. Like the SM58 is old. Like I'm pretty sure it came out in like the 30s. Still, they haven't changed it a drip because it still works. So like everybody, when you see Mick swinging one of these around doing this, yeah, this is it. So what's good about this kind of mic, this and this are the same. They're known as dynamic mics. These are great for rejecting background noise. So if you have kids that like to scream and yell while you're trying to do something, this will take some of that away.
Yes.
Right? Like I didn't have that option. My mom would have stuck me to the wall like a Van Gogh, you know. And then on the back here, there is an XLR for when you grow your studio up and you put in a real interface. You can plug in an XLR cable. That's the standard mic cable, like you've seen in church and everywhere else. That's it. And then, but when you don't have that, you can use the USB. So the cool thing about the USB for the people that are going to be creating using an iPad or an iPhone, there's ways to make that work, you know, with an iPad or an iPhone. So it's just really incredible. And between, you know, a little iPhone to USB adapter and this, you can record it. You can go hide in the bathroom, set your phone up, shoot at your shower curtain. The cool part about shower curtains is you can get something that just hangs over it like a piece of fabric so it doesn't look like you're in the bathroom. You know, I've shot a metric ton of videos in my bathroom and nobody knew I was in the bathroom because I just covered the shower curtain with the black cloth that's so long that it drapes on both sides. Took one light, shined it at the mirror so it came back at me soft instead of shining it directly on my face where it's just like that. So I put my brightest light, shined it at the mirror. And then on the other side wall, I took all the towels I could and stacked them behind where the mic was going to be to stop it from bouncing. You know what I mean? So when you talk at it, the towel would eat the sound. That's it. You're done. You can sit right in your bathroom and produce incredible videos. I did lots of videos from the bathroom because I was tired of getting yelled at by the small person that shares my apartment with me.
Jim, maybe we should start doing the Tim and Jim show from our bathrooms.
Well, you know, they do say sometimes some of your best thinking comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
But my bathroom's a little too small for that. I'd have to go into my stepson's bathroom, and I'm not sure that I want to go there.
Oh, you don't want to do that. How old is he?
22.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Stay, bruh. You think COVID is bad? You don't even know what 22-year-old men generate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We all used to be one. Tim was one like 2 years ago. We were that a while
right?
ago.
Yeah, right. I wish.
But yeah, get one of these I can't even speak now. Samsung Q2U. It's literally like $50. Fantastic mic. It sounds great. You've been listening to Jim talk on it forever. Or a pod mic would be probably my second pick. Those are my top two. SM58, of course. I'm sorry, SM7B is the king. But for $400, I would buy 3 of these or 8 of these.
Well, I think the other thing too, Doc, that people don't realize when you get like some of those higher end mics, you have to add additional software, right? You got to get a cloud lifter and all these other things.
Yeah, cloud lifter.
And the other thing too is, you know, you might find a mic that your voice sounds better on, right? Like people tell me I sound good on this, but I may find a mic that I like better. So don't feel like you got to get stuck on one. But I'm so happy that Tim did get the Samsung because he was using that other one that shall remain nameless.
The Blue Yeti.
Oh, geez, he said nameless, dog. I cannot stand those things. I cannot stand them with a passion. I can't stand them. Like everyone got them and they're popular. Now, what most people don't know, if you found the old one or you bought it when it first came out, yours is probably good because that was when the guys who originally created it, who come from Blue microphones, which half the albums in your iPod right now came on Blue microphones. It was legit. And then Logitech says, I like the shape of it. People who like to be on camera will love the shape on it. Let's buy it. So Logitech bought it and Logiteched it. Except for mice, they tend to buy other stuff and make them cheap. Their headphones, the Ultimate Ears. When I was in audio game, Ultimate Ears were $600-700 studio ear monitors like these that your band people would have on stage. When you saw people doing this and be like, okay, I'm gonna do the Star Spangled Banner, and I'm Whitney Houston. Those were Ultimate ears. They were expensive and they were great. And then Logitech figured everybody would love these, so Logitech bought it, and now your $40 Ultimate ears are rubbish.
There you go. And Stefan says, thanks, Doc, for the mic insight, getting that mic second person to recommend it.
If
Did you
Diana's in the
recommend
chat,
it,
she'll
Tim?
recommend
That
it
would be
too.
at least, and I know Diana Gladney in the chat also said she uses it. So
Yeah,
Stefan,
I
you
did
got at least
mention it to him.
4 Samson Q2U fans, and I know my friend Chris Stone, who made our video for the show, he's also a Samson fan, and he's more of a Doc. You and him might be like running neck and neck as far as audio snobs, because he used to work for Sony in the music business, and he catches everything. There you go.
My family used to own an electronics store. We sold mostly Sony. Now, for those of you on the serious glow up, this would be the last one. If you're on a serious glow up, but you got to be a little bit mobile, you want the Rode Wireless Go. This is the recorder. I mean, the receiver. This is the transmitter. You put this by your camera, and you can jack it directly into your camera, and you put this on your body, and you just talk, right? So you clip it on your shirt. I've clipped it on my hat bill. I've clipped it in various places. It's actually good enough that you can sit it just out of frame on the table, and it picks up. You do have a little bit more air to tend with in editing, but these are fantastic. And if it's windy outside, it does come with a dead cat that you can stick on top of it to help kill the wind noise. But literally probably one of the most favorite pieces in my kit. When you go to a restaurant, you want to film in the restaurant, but you don't want to be yelling or pull out a really weird mic. I'll take this and stick it in between the salt and pepper and do my little, like, we call it the Oishi face. When you bite something, you go. It's the Oishi face.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
There's so many things from listening to Doc, whether it's been on the Ecamm channel or Christian and I interviewed him the other day for Launch Your Live. I've got like this list now, like this big because of you, Doc. So I'm going to send you the bill.
No worry. You see, you guys, you need to be on the other red channel where people can send you donations so you can buy things.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Stefan was asking. Yeah, Stefan, they do have this stand that comes with the Q2U. Yeah. They also have a kit that comes with, like the one I have here. It came with the boom arm. So they definitely depends on what you want to get right now.
Yeah, the $99 kit comes with everything.
Yeah,
and then even deal. the little afro for the top that stops you from making plosers when you Peter Piper pick the pepper. You don't get the poof.
Yeah.
Yes. And Stefan is wondering, how do you feel about wearing headphones while live streaming for sound feedback, etc.?
You first of all, if your headphones are feeding back, you bought Ultimate Ears $49 pieces of crap. You must at all times wear headphones, always. But I'm going to adjust that. You're going to wear in-ear monitors. And like I said, we were going to fix Tim today because he bought the Me M6s as I bought the Me M6s because I thought, oh, these are going to be great because you're going to be not super visual. They'll be a little bit hidden. But that cord is made out of unobtainium, so it's dumb. So this is my cord. Look how just naturally it flows. It's just really soft and supple. Right. The ones that I'm going to show you too. The other feature I love about these is when your niece yanks the cord, it just comes out and then you can just put it back on, which means you can replace the cord, which means that you can also, for like $12 a piece, buy cord in blue, black, purple, orange, silver, whatever. So it can kind of hide against your clothes. Now, in theory, I throw this behind my head and you don't even know that I have them on until I turn my head sideways. But I just wear it because I don't care. So here they are. These are known as the KB ear, and Jim will tell you I once thought it was K-Bear, which is just dumb. I blame K-Bay for that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I thought it was Kanye Bay. I call him K-Bear.
Yep.
You guys ready for the rocking price for this, Stefan? This is going to kill your wallet. They're $20. 20.
Wow.
I guarantee you these sound 300 times better than Ultimate Ears. And they literally sound about 400 times better than my Me 6s, which I own, but I would never buy them again. And I didn't get these because they're more expensive than the Mi 6s. That's what people will say. These are $20. The Mi 6s are 15. Spend the extra $5, forego that coffee, and get your set of KB Ear Lark. They're also sold under KZZSN Pros, which are these, same smell. They're also sold under CCA, CA4s. They got a lot of weird names, but just look for budget Fi in-ear monitors. It'll come up. There's a video on my YouTube channel where I explain it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Just search my name and IEMs and you'll see them. But yeah, you should spend the $20 and they're great.
Cool. So Doc, we're starting to wrap up the show here, but if we could just talk briefly about cameras versus webcams. Do you have any favorite models? Any suggestions when it comes to
you guys
things?
are going to get in trouble when it comes to cameras.
Got my pen out, ready to write down more
get
stuff.
Yourself a Sony. Any of the Sony Alpha cameras will do. Everything from the A6000, which is roughly about 5 years old, came out. Actually, I think the A6000 came out in 2014. So from the A6000 forward, all of them will look absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, mirrorless cameras are the move. You'll hear people mistakenly call them DSLRs, but they're not. They're mirrorless cameras. You can always tell the difference between a mirrorless and a DSLR is it's like 1/3 the size. DSLRs are just massive. And they will just always look better. And the best part about them is when you are able to go back on vacation, you can use them. When you are, able to go back to your kid's soccer game or basketball or whatever your kids are into, field hockey, boom, you can use them. So it's a better investment than, a standard like webcam. And a lot of people ran out and bought Logitech Brios, which are amazing. But you're only like another $200 short from just buying a real camera. So I say buy the real camera because from a business marketing perspective, being able to take this guy out, this one's like $3,000. That's a different story. But being able to take this guy out and shoot, pictures and images and basically B-roll for your marketing side of your business, you will get more out of this. And so instead of buying it for yourself, you buy it for the business. So you can just write it off. So it doesn't really matter how much it costs, but you will get more mileage out of them. The bodies are made out of steel, magnesium. And it's just a far, far greater reach, far more things you can do with it. So yes, by all means, run out and get yourself a Sony. There's, the Canon is good. I'm not a fan of the M50 for streaming. It works, but it does require some hoop jumping. And then there's like the Nikon, the Z5, the Z6. They're all incredible. So you don't have to be a Sony fan like myself. They just work really good in low light, which got me stuck on them because I was.
I went into Best Buy when we could go places, and the guy was giving us a demonstration of the Sony mirrorless, and I'm blown away. I couldn't believe what you could do with just the camera as is, without using the way you could actually make something go from like pitch dark to light just by using the camera. I mean, Tim, if you haven't had a chance to check them out yet, definitely. And I think Sony is probably the leader in mirrorless cameras right now.
And the last thing I want to remind people, you probably already own one of the best streaming cameras ever. And all you can do is reach down in your pocket and go like this and just pull this out. These are incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Tim doesn't. Tim doesn't have the iPhone. He has the other phone.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, I have the Samsung S9 and it works great.
Yeah, the S9 has a fantastic camera. It has a crappy interface, but it does have a fantastic camera.
I was waiting for something there.
Come on, player. I worked at Apple. What were you expecting?
Of course.
We're slowly bringing him over to the dark side, Doc. Or
we got him on the. Right? No, it's dark side.
It's the dark side.
See, I'm not a rebel scum. So you must literally bust out your phone. You can get the NDI app that allows you to send it wirelessly to your computer. I would say plug it in if you can. My streaming software of choice, you just plug it in. It works. You don't need any drivers, anything special. There is a software called Camo, Re-Incubate Camo, which will allow you to use this for all you Yardbirds out there. So you can just plug it in. You go in your Yardbird back in, you click the button, there's your face, and you just put this on the tripod, and you have a much better camera than the one that's built into your computer, sitting in your pocket or your purse, or take it back from your kid because they're probably playing Minecraft, and just stick it on a tripod and then go. Now, you might need this to be open because you want to get calls. This is where you commandeer the one from your kid and be like, sorry, no Minecraft for the next hour. I need to use my phone camera as my camera. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And I think that's a great point, because everybody's struggling to find these webcams because of everything that's going on with the pandemic. When you've got these, the cameras on the phones are amazing. I mean, 4K, a lot of them. So why go spend a couple $100 when you can use your phone? Just maybe remember to put it on do not disturb.
Yeah.
Because that could be
the better one, seriously, is take the one from your kid, because they're supposed to be in class anyway with hybrid learning schedule. So they can't use it during the time that your Zoom meeting is.
That's
kid,
true.
I'm using your phone as my camera for the Zoom meeting, so that way you guarantee pay attention in class. Simple. Actually, if you have the old one you never sent back, or sold, this is my iPhone 8. This camera's still good. Like, I use it all the time as a B camera for my stream. Like, so it doesn't even have to be a new one. You can take one of your older cameras, because that iPhone 8 is 4K. You know what I mean? That's how long we've been doing this stuff. So,
right.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doc Rock, for being here today. We learned so much from you. Tell people how they can find out more information about you. How can they connect with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You guys are going to get absolutely sick of me coming up in the next 5 days, because over on youtube.com/DocRock, I will be doing Vlogmas. And my theme this year is literally going to be about using video for growth, as personal growth, some business growth, some mindset stuff. Like, I'm ex-military, so I'm always trying to take the horrible mindset out of people that we've all been taught. So I don't blame anyone for their mindset. It's normally parents are the worst mindset creators in the world, but they're just trying to protect you, but then they kind of overprotect you and they mess you up. So we've all been there. If I just want to be able to show people that with something as simple as your phone, or some lighting, or hide in front of the window when the sun is perfect, you can make some great engaging content for your clients, for your future clients, for your business, and even just to let people know who you are. Because no matter what your business is, no one buys features and benefits. People actually buy people. I know that sounds weird, but the reason why I use the software I use is I love the team. You know what I mean? The reason why I come and hang out with you guys is I love both of you guys, right? Like, I've talked to you hundreds of times on Facebook. I'm like, you guys are awesome. So when you say, hey, can you come on? That's not even a thought, absolutely. See you tomorrow. So it's very important. A lot of businesses like, well, I'm shy. There's no such thing as shy. Look up in the DSM-5. Find shy in the definition. No, your mama told you shy, and now you repeat that to the world, and that's a crock of. Happy Thanksgiving. So yeah, youtube.com/DocRock. Come and see me, and we're going to do Vlogmas, and I'm going to get you out of this funk, because what I say Vlogmas is for us, because Jim asked, it's basically every day for December, you're going to go on and you're going to do a video, 3 to 5 minutes, and it's just to get you in the habit of creating and editing and posting and interacting. So you go into 2021 at full sprint, instead of waking up on the 1st, watching a bowl game, and then be like, okay, now I'm going to get started.
I'm ready.
Here comes the sports segment, Jim.
We're going to go into 2021 at full sprint.
I love that, Doc. I love that. Jim, do you want to tell everybody who's on next week's show?
Yes, very excited. She's going to get up awfully early in the morning because she's in Australia. But Annette McDonald from Easel is actually going to be right here where Doc is, but not in Doc's studio, on the Tim and Jim show. So very excited to have her. Easel is an amazing product. It's actually how we got this backdrop done for the Tim and Jim show, is through Easel. So it's I know there's lots of tools. Sometimes, in fact, Chris and I will do stuff with not only Adobe Photoshop or Spark, but also Easel, because I don't know, there's sometimes more than one tool to get what you want done. Just like I've told people I can use Ecamm within StreamYard as a virtual cam, so I can do all that cool overlay stuff that Ecamm does.
I'm doing it now.
If I'm not ready to go all in on one or the other. So just let your imagination run wild. And Doc is an amazing guy. You make me want to come visit Hawaii, Doc, so I can come hang out with you. And if you want to come to Atlanta, it's a direct flight, I think.
Yep.
Come on out and we'll have some fun. And Tim, maybe we'll have to do an episode from Hawaii sometime. We'll have to figure out the logistics on that.
That would be a blast. I'll have to bring my forest with me.
Oh, you won't need a forest.
You won't need a forest. We got plenty.
We got
forests that will scare you.
That's a deal.
That's where the Minihune live. So yeah, come on out. We'll scare you. You don't need to bring a forest.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Doc. Love y'all. And we'll see you next time for another episode of the Tim and Jim Show.